Good evening, everyone. Happy Friday, and thank you for joining another Girl, You Better podcast episode, which this is episode number 6. I am your host, Coach Ronnie B, the Divine Alignment Coach, and what that means is that I help people discover tools that they can use for their mind, their body, and their spirit so that they show up as their highest self every single day of their lives. And today I have two guests, not one, but two. So, double the pleasure of some very fabulous information that they're going to share with us on today about getting us right, getting us healthy. And part of it starts in the mind. First, I want to talk to you all first about the Radical Change Expo that is happening in DFW, Dallas Fort Worth, that is. So if you are in the Dallas Fort Worth area, July 25th on a Sunday, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m., Radical Change Expo is all about your mental health. There will be thought conscious leaders there, panelist speakers, there will be free entertainment, concessions, you name it, a vendor. So there will be vendors there, and if you want a vendor booth, please give us. Go ahead and register. It's a free community event, and this is something that is so unique because life coaching is a unregulated industry, but the Global Institute for Coaches and Entrepreneurs have now broke that wall because now there is an opportunity to use insurance to bill for life coaching. So if you always wanted a life coach, now is your opportunity to get in on this groundbreaking event. And not only that, if you've been thinking about becoming a life coach, definitely consider the Global Institute for Coaches and Entrepreneurs because look, Master Coach LaKendra is a trailblazer, and she is doing things that no other master coach is doing because of her vision to actually have 1 million certified coaches. So somebody with a vision that big, you know you're in the right place. But anyway, let's go ahead and get on with our episode for today, which is called Girl, You Better Get Fit. And so for my first guest, which I will introduce, I will bring him on stage. His name is Adam on here. There we go. Cameron Evans.
Good evening. Good evening.
You there? I'm trying to bring him in. Hold on. Let me try one more time.
I'm here. Can you hear me? All right. Can you hear me, Ronita? I can see you.
Cameron, are
I can
you
hear
there?
you. Yes, I am here. Can you hear me?
I see you there. You were just
I can
in.
I can see you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Technical difficulties here. Hold on just a moment.
I can see you. I can hear you.
Can't get you to come in. Okay. Add to stream.
I am here as well.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
All right. Coach Ronnie B, can you hear me?
Okay.
Can you guys see
There
me
you
okay?
go. Okay. Thank you
I look a
so
little
much.
I look a little
All right.
shadowed. Am I shadowed?
A
Yes.
little bit.
Okay. So, yes, I can hear you. Yes. Well, I can see the shadow of your face. Yes, a little bit. You're a little mysterious
Yeah, well, well, I might have to
at the
change my
moment. But Cameron Evans, I'll introduce him first. So he's the developer of, may I have to change what?
Oh, can you hear me? I may have to change my position so I'm not in the shadow.
You good? Yes, I can hear you.
I think there's a delay.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, yes, if you would like people to see who you are. I don't know. I guess it's the sun behind.
Yeah.
There's a delay. Right. Well, we are going to. Okay, so Jakkia, I'll talk about Jakkia first. So Jakkia Hollingsworth is a full-time transformation coach, as well as a fitness instructor, and one of my favorite fitness instructors
Thank you.
here in DFW. Her personal journey through depression and major life transitions led her to say to better spiritual and physical health. After pursuing additional education, she took this passion and started Ambler Transformational Coaching, which is a comprehensive transformation coaching business. And she's a proud mom of two sons. All right, and okay, so we can see you, Cameron. Cameron Evans. He is the developer and sports nutritionist of Gravity Sports, Gravity
Gravity Force.
Force Sports Nutrition, and he's a lifelong athlete and fitness enthusiast. And he has made his mission to develop the best sports nutrition on the market. So, as a triathlete, talk a little bit about that. And also an Ironman competitor. Okay, so he goes hard in the paint. Um, Cameron understands the importance of having the best high quality nutrition before, during, and after activity. And I just want to say thank you both for being here today. Um, I know this is a very important topic today that is going to help our audience that is either interested in jumpstarting their health journey, continuing on, or being reignited.
Who wants to go
So
first?
I know that there is a bit of a delay, and I apologize for that. Um, but however, Jakkia, I want you to talk a little bit about your journey of starting Ambler transformational coaching and what that has done or how it has impacted your community.
Okay, so I'll definitely say that I create this passion, and I think that most people's passions oftentimes derive from a place of pain. Pain revealed purpose for me.
Did you guys hear me?
Yes, can you hear me? Cameron, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, awesome. So I have had to battle with obesity since I was a child. So that was something that
Hello, guys, hear me?
was a consistent struggle in my life up until my teenage years. And in my teenage years, I learned the importance of physical activity and good nutrition. And at that point, my family was a huge support tool in changing my overall health, helping me lose at the age of 14, helping me lose like 50 pounds and just got myself into a better space health-wise. After that, being active was something I just enjoyed doing. And it was just a lifestyle I had built from there. But fast forward to my adult years and after I had my children, I ended up having to deal with obesity again after having children, but also combining some severe depression in there and being in a space of an unhealthy environment as well. And as a result of that, I had to then take control of my health again. I was in a very dark place with depression, and I needed to change that for my children. I needed to change that to become a better person and to feel better just about waking up every single day. So I was determined to have that change. And what I had done was I kind of pulled myself up by the bootstraps when it when it comes to the mental part. I had to do a lot of self-work, a lot of reading, a lot of absorbing information from motivational speakers. And I just found any type of information, inspiration, and motivation from any source I could get it from to build my inside. Also on the outside, I understood that I needed to step up my physical game because I was overweight and out of shape. And there were some things I needed to change there. I was able to tap into my dance training that I'd had since the age of 3, and I found dance fitness and I really loved it. But it was still a lot of growth and things I needed to do for myself to feel better, to feel stronger, for my own level of self-confidence, for my own personal power. I needed to take my power back. So then I got pretty heavy into fitness and I leveled up. I did that by finding an amazing personal trainer. That's where it started. Shout out to Cedric Bailey at Bailey Fitness. They are still a fitness home for me. And after that, it ignited a fire in me that made me want to be better. And it's not just physically, it was also spiritually and emotionally. Now, of course, on the outside, you see the physical transformation happen first, because if you follow the rules, your body will change. But the physical is one part. The spiritual and the emotional is a whole nother battle that you have to fight, and it takes a lot longer. So even when I saw my body changing, I was changing and evolving at a slower pace on the inside. And me having to use all of these different resources to feed my spirit, to stay motivated, to continue to speak life into myself, pretty much helped me realize the importance of having a coach, because I literally found about 1 million of them that spoke life into me. And I thought, what if I had someone that I could go through this process with, that could hold me accountable and call me out on my stuff and help me show up for myself every single day. And I wouldn't have to kind of piece it from all these different sources. And they were all great. But I realized the importance of having a coach when I had to do it all for myself. That meant that spiritual and emotional piece for myself. And so that to answer your question, that's kind of where it started. It started from a place of being really, really in a dark space and being desperate for change and absorbing that inspiration and motivation from every single place I could get it from.
Wow, that's an amazing story that incorporates all the facets of being human. I mean, spiritual, mental, the physical. I mean, every single part. That's amazing that you tapped into that, or like you knew that you had to tap into all of those different spaces in order to address this need that was crying out, within your soul.
I definitely can tell you that I learned that through trial and error. because you think that the answer is in the physical and you realize it's not. Then you
No.
go straight for the emotional and you realize it's not. It's also the spiritual. It is the trifecta that has to be happening. It is all working together as one piece that actually brings about the real change. And so I had to stumble upon it through trial and error, but then I finally learned it and learned to understand it and apply it.
All right. Now, Cameron, and tap in and tell us about like your journey, like how, like when did something get ignited in you to like totally take control of your health?
Well, I think, I've always been an athlete. I've always been physical and active. To kind of piggyback off of what Jakkia said, is that when you do those things, when you become faced with certain challenges, it forces you to be a little bit more internal, and you have to rely and tap into something that you may have not tapped into before.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the overall crux of the matter, is that you have to be willing to dig deep and pull out all the garbage in your life and lay it out on the table and say, okay, this is for me, this is not for me. And I think a lot of times people find that through physical activity, through physical challenge, through doing a triathlon or an Ironman, or changing their life in general and trying to lose weight or just get healthy. Because I think when you're physically healthy, naturally you're going to be mentally healthy. If you're mentally healthy, the spiritual aspects of being healthy are going to follow right behind that. And so it is a trifecta. It is a cumulative effort, a cumulative goal that we all should aspire to do, not just to look good or look sexy or whatever, but just to be well-rounded people and be healthy, and then you can spread that love and that joy to other people as well.
Yeah. I think it's pretty amazing because we're all, if you don't mind me saying, we're all 40 plus. We're on that side of the track. And just realizing like the older that personally that I get, like now it becomes very urgent. Um, and it's something that almost it's very magnetic, that I want to, like, I have a desire to do things that are good for me. I have a desire to have peace in my life. It's a desire to actually want to physically work my body because of the benefits that I get. But can you, both of you, can you share? First, I would say, Cameron, with like being a triathlete and Ironman, like I can't even imagine me myself going through a process like that in training for something like that. Um, what were you inspired to develop or come up with some of your own products or nutrition to better have some better success at doing that, like?
Oh, that absolutely. That was the impetus behind creating the nutritional products, was because I wanted something a little different. And as I began to experiment with different nutritional products and just different types of eating habits, yes, that exactly. It arose out of me putting myself through the Ironman.
Okay. And Jakkia, so like of course I followed you on social media, and I used to come to Mix Six class when you were at Fitness Connection in Arlington and things of that sort. And I know that you had started changing your diet and kind of going a little public about that through social media, your journey of even changing your diet. For some of us that, we love what we love, whether it's a donut, whether it's fried chicken, whether it's candy, whatever our vice is, a French fry. Um, can you tell us, like, making those changes, like, how did you combat the frustration of, or getting over the hump of wanting what you wanted, but knowing That's not going to be good for my goal.
So when I originally started changing my diet, it literally came out of necessity. Stress created a lot of food sensitivities in my body, and I was feeling sick all the time. And when I went to the doctor, I realized I had a lot of food sensitivities, and it had to do with the stress that I was taking in and not honestly handling or dealing with properly. And so I had to clean up my eating because otherwise I was going to feel like crap all the time, and I didn't want to. I was tired of it. And so it caused me to really, really clean up just what I was doing, what I was eating. Yeah. And I had a great friend. I have a great friend who kind of said, why don't you try a 30-day fruits and vegetable kind of, just a reset in January of 2014. And I was like, hey, okay, look, why not? Let me try it. And when I did that, I realized how I felt when I did it. And I love I love my energy being high. Something when Cameron was talking about creating products as you're preparing for a triathlon, I think about the importance of what I'm doing, but more importantly, how I feel when I'm doing it. And so I want to feel full of energy. I want to feel light. I want to feel good. I don't want to feel heavy. And so when I started doing that, I just started to feel better. And once I started to feel better, I stopped wanting the things that would make me feel bad. I would bring them back into my diet and I would feel bad all over again. And it was just like the reminder, like, oh, why you don't need to be eating that. Don't get me wrong. I still want what I want when I want it. I still like pizza. I still have my guilty pleasures, but I also know that I work out a lot, and I don't want to cancel my workout with a bad meal. I don't want to necessarily go and do that hard work and then undo all the hard work with just not being able to control what I put in my mouth. So I have to control that so that it's not all for nothing. And I'm pretty hardcore when it comes to the way I talk to myself. It's like either you want this or you don't. If you do this and you do this, you're canceling each other out. And then why do it? So for me, I want the benefit. If I want the benefit, I got to give up something. So I decided to give up the food. It made me feel better. I continued to feel better, and I wanted to keep on feeling better. So I just kept doing it.
Okay. Now, Cameron, so with like going just a little bit on piggybacking a little bit about still having some of those things that we want to have,
I do all the time.
Okay, so what's your philosophy? Go ahead.
Well, I say that because no matter what I eat, no matter what I consume, if I go out and we have dinner and I splurge a little bit, if I have a cheeseburger or if I have a whole box of Oreos, I'm going to train no matter what. My training doesn't change. So my mentality, my focus, I wake up at 4 a.m. every morning, and I'm usually training by 4:30. So that does not change for me. Now, is my diet 100% clean and strict? No. I'll have a cheat meal. I'll try not to have a cheat day, right? But I'll have a cheat meal and I'll enjoy food because I like to eat. And I tell my wife this all the time. You're lucky I like to work out because I have that 300-pounder mentality. I'm a third and fourth kind of guy, but I train like no other. I mean, I push myself. I am a hard pusher when I train, and I train daily. I train anywhere from 5 to 6 days a week. So I enjoy food. I'll step out of bounds a little bit, but I don't focus on it. I don't feel bad about it. I know that everyone's fitness level is not where I am, so you have to, be a little bit more adherent and be more strict. I get that because everybody's different. But for me personally, I don't let that deter me. I'm gonna get it in regardless. So that's kind of my philosophy. Now, if I was coaching someone and training someone, I would have them, periodization, right? Have a period, maybe 3 to 4 weeks, maybe even 6 weeks, where you just be very diligent with what you eat. And then, after you can commit to yourself and to the process, have a little fun in your diet because you can't live that way. It's no fun when you just, it's so strict to where you can't even smell a cheeseburger. It's just That's no fun. It's unrealistic.
Yeah.
So you got to have a little bit of leeway in your diet to make life enjoyable. Because yeah, you'll be healthy, but you'll be miserable. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
You'll be the fittest person on the block, but you'll be miserable because you're not really enjoying life. You're not
Right.
enjoying food, and ultimately, food is to be enjoyed. Now, that doesn't mean do what I do and have thirds and fourths, but enjoy a little cheat meal and then get back to it.
Okay. Okay. Well, you all have heard it. It's okay to have a cheat meal, but it's all about what he said. Commitment.
Yes.
Yes.
Discipline.
Yes. Discipline.
Discipline,
Um. And again
because
with discipline. Go ahead.
not to cut you off. I mean, you can be, you can have the best mindset and you can be extremely highly motivated, but that's only going to get you so far.
Yep.
If
Mhm.
you don't have the discipline to lay out your goals, lay out your plans, and stick to it, you're going to fail every time. So it's discipline, not just being motivated. It is discipline. You have to be disciplined. It has to become a mindset. It has to become, just like you would wake up in the morning and brush your teeth. You wash your face. You shower. You do those things on a daily. I consider exercise and physical activity adjunct to that.
Right.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I'm going to wake up every day. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to brush my teeth. I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to comb my hair. I'm going to do those things. And exercise fits right in line with all of that.
Yes. So, I mean, exercise. For some people might say, well, I'm too busy. I don't know where I can fit it in. Well, you fit in to brush your teeth, you fit in to eat a meal, you fit in to take a shower. So some kind of way you can fit in some type of physical activity in your day and just make it a routine. Go ahead.
Can I say this? If
Yes.
your listeners would go to their cell phones and check their screen time, there
Boom.
is where
Boom.
you're going to find your
How
time
they
to
spend their time.
exercise.
Hmm.
So
I
if
was.
you're spending 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours on your phone,
Mhm.
whatever, there's 30 minutes wasted that you could have been exercising. You could have been doing something. I don't care if it's just jumping jacks or
Yeah.
push-ups, right? 30 minutes of activity, right? 2 to 3 times a
Facts.
week, at
Yep.
minimum 3 days a week. How much time do you spend on your phone? How much time do you spend watching Netflix or whatever?
Mm.
You have the time. It's about what you
You have the time.
prioritize.
Exactly.
And it's very easy to say I don't have the time, but the reality is, if it's a priority, you'll make it. If you want to go to brunch, if you want to go out with friends, if you want to go to happy hour, you make the time. If you
If
want
it's
to go do
important to
something
you.
social, you'll make the time. Your health just has to feel like it just as important of a priority. And again, screen time is a very humbling thing to look at.
Woo.
Once you look at that and you realize how many hours you spend scrolling and staring and interacting, like he said, you could have already worked out, taken a shower, and been done and moved on to the next thing. But there's a lot of time right there spent just in that one activity. So imagine if you took inventory of your entire day to see where you have time.
Exactly.
Absolutely. I hope you all are going to take inventory on your phone and check and just to see, how much time you're actually spending scrolling. Now, I did want to ask you both about weight training, okay? Because for some women, we are led to believe that if we start hitting those weights, we're gonna bulk up, we're gonna start looking, too masculine or what have you. Can you both share from your own experience, but also just the knowledge that you have? What are some benefits to weight training? Who wants to go first?
I'll let Jakkia go.
Okay.
Okay.
So I was a dance fitness instructor for a couple of years before I decided to go into weight training. And when I tell you that my body did a 180, I can go do cardio for hours and still look soft. And people sometimes call it skinny fat. That's one of the terms I've heard. where you might lean out, or you might lose weight, but you still look soft. You don't look toned. And so I did it. Got my trainer. We started bringing in weights, and I'm also naturally a very athletically built young woman. And I am 5'2.5", give me my half. But when I was very hesitant to bring in weights because I didn't want to look bulky. I kept thinking I'm going to look bulky like a guy. I don't want to look like a bodybuilder. I tone up really fast. And the truth of the matter is, you don't have to lift that kind of heavy weight, and you won't look like a man unless you're integrating other things into your diet that cause you to bulk up. So for me, I'm a personal testimony that when I added weight training into my regimen, my body did a complete change. In my before and after pictures that I sent you, Ronnie, that was alone where the difference is between bringing in weights and not having them. I look like probably 20 pounds difference when it was actually maybe a 10-pound difference in the way I was before and the way I was after. And on top of that, it just mentally, it does something for you. It makes you feel like a warrior, even more so. And so I enjoyed it. It's great for the body, and the body that most women want when they say they want to tone, you won't get it without adding the weights into it. You won't get the curves and the legs and the firmness that you're looking for if you don't have the weights. You can go and run 10 miles a day and you won't have it. You can be in 4 different dance classes a day and you won't get it. It has to have weights involved. So you just kind of got to get over that hump. You won't look like a man. You are a woman. You will continue to look like one. You have to be willing to try it to see the result. When you start seeing it, you'll understand it.
Yep. Yeah, no, she's 100% accurate. And I say this all the time. Excuse the expression, but if you want to lose weight, if you want to lose fat, cardio sucks, because it's going to take you 3 times as long to get to where you want to be. Now you start incorporating resistance training and weight training, and like Jakkia said, you don't have to go heavy, just lightweight and adding a little bit of strength element to your fitness routine. You're going to build more muscle and start catabolizing fat faster. And you're not going to look bulky. You're going to look leaner. You're going to look more athletic. Your metabolism is going to rev up, and it's going to happen a lot quicker. So we're talking from, 4 months or 9 months versus cardio.
Absolutely.
And, you can do all the Zumba classes and all the rhythmic and dance classes you want. You're not going to see the changes in your body that you want without the strength training. And Jakkia hit it right on the head. That's the bottom line. You got to add some resistance training on top of dietary changes.
Absolutely. Because you can do all that work, and if your diet doesn't change, then the body won't change.
The body won't change.
And that's the reason why my fitness classes tend to bring a lot of weight resistance in them as well. Because if we're going to come in there and we're going to do the work that's going to allow you to see the results that you want. Yeah. And so you got to bring that in there.
And not just the weights, body weight. Just
body weight. Yes. We don't pick up one weight. Everything is our body weight, using that as resistance. And that is enough. You don't have to go pick up big dumbbells. Start with your own body weight.
Yes, and I'm a witness of Jakkia's class. It is definitely, yes, using that body weight. Like she incorporates that in, but it's so fun. Like the music that she has, the energy that she brings, just the whole vibe. Like you won't even know that a whole hour or so or whatever has even passed by, because you are enjoying yourself. The tribe, they're enjoying themselves as well, and so it's a very unique experience. I believe that she has cultivated just naturally by who she is. And it's great. If you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, please tell them where you do your fitness instructing classes.
Yes, I teach twice a week currently at Team Bailey Fitness, Mondays at 8:00 and Wednesdays at 7.
Okay, Team Bailey Fitness, and that is in Duncanville?
That is in Dallas.
Dallas. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And as we begin to kind of wrap this up, I want to ask both of you something a little bit more serious. So for me, I would say for me, um, where I struggle with is, I would say, is probably my diet. I probably have a little bit more cheat days than not. Um, but anyway, part of my personal motivation, I know Jakkia, she shared her story about going through depression and childhood obesity. For me, in my family, there is diabetes. There's a history of diabetes and heart disease and um, cancer and just you name it. Like it's check, 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 check when I go to the doctor as far as my family history. And so far, I have been able to beat a lot of that of what my family has experienced even at my age, whether it's been mom, dad, maternal grandparents, paternal grandparents. But can you please, if there is something that you can say to the audience to really urge them, and not so much about, it's not having the abs, not, having the big Brazilian butt or anything else, or even for the guys, some, the very muscular chest or whatever. Not so much the physical aspects, but can you please just expound on the importance of health, fitness, nutrition, the mindset, and really how that being parents, being that we all are parents, um, what is a legacy that you want to leave, or with young people looking at us and what we do, like what is the importance of, first of all, being there for your children, and be able to be there for your children's children, and really spreading that to our young people, because I think our young people um, are already struggling with that. Of course, I've been in education. Jakkia has been in the education um, um, environment. And so many of our children are struggling with obesity and self issues with their self image. So what would you say to parents right now um, to start changing their lifestyle so they can even incorporate something better for their children?
Well, I think it's a matter of perspective. And when it comes to health, it is probably the least appreciated thing that we possess or own.
Mm,
And we don't spend enough time educating in school or even at home on the importance of health. And when you get into your latter years, you don't have to suffer from certain ailments. Now they're going to be genetic predispositions that people are just going to naturally have, no matter what.
mhm,
No matter how healthy you are, you're going to be, predetermined to have certain conditions, right?
mhm,
But a lot of the things that we suffer from, especially in the African American community,
mhm,
probably 95% of the things that we suffer from, the diabetes, the heart disease, those things are avoidable.
Yep.
You don't have to get diabetes. You don't have to die from a heart attack. You don't have to die from a stroke. That's all directly related to your diet and nutrition and how you feel about yourself ultimately. And yes, like you said, the self-esteem aspect is very important because it shows how you feel about yourself. You care enough about yourself to exercise. You care enough about yourself to eat the right things, to get the right amount of sleep, to drink enough water throughout the day. I think that is the forefront issue: caring about yourself, loving about yourself, taking care of yourself, so that
mhm.
later in life you don't have to suffer, you don't have to struggle, you don't have to get those diseases because they're avoidable.
I
Thank you.
agree. I think that what you asked was, it kind of had a couple of layers to it. But if
Mm,
we're talking to parents, I think about diet and the fact that if we want our children to adopt healthier habits, we have to first model that. But what is our greatest pitfall? Our greatest pitfall is that we don't know how to say no to temptation. We got to think about temptation and how when our children give into temptation in other areas, we want to correct that. We want to tell them, don't give in to what everybody else is doing. Don't give in to, just because you want to do it doesn't mean you should. Well, we should apply that same thing when it comes to food. I'm a big believer in the way how you put, like, the way you can control your life if you can control what you put in your mouth. If you want to master your life, master how you spend your time alone and what you put in your mouth. And so know that your relationship with food is very reflective of your relationship with many, many things. And the diet is just one thing, but you're more than anything, they're learning from watching you. For me, watching my kids watching me, they don't necessarily want to not eat meat. I don't eat meat, but they want to. What I want them to understand is the importance of good health. What I want them to understand is the importance of being well-rounded, like Cameron said earlier, the importance of being active and moving around. For me, having two sons, I want them to see a woman that can be a mother and still be active and be in her 40s and still be all over the place doing all types of things that I'm intrigued with doing because I'm physically able. I want to celebrate life because I'm physically able.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I know how I felt when I was not in my healthiest space. And I don't want my children to feel that way. I don't want them to have low self-esteem because of that. I want them to know inside, if I have something that I want to fix about myself, I have the tools to change that within myself. Let me just make the changes that I need to do it. So I'm very transparent about when I want to clean up my eating or when I'm falling off, I talk to my kids about it. I make sure they see the realness of it, but I want them to see my dedication to it too. And I truly believe if you continue to be that example every day or try to be it as much as possible. And again, we go eat pizza, we do things. You have to keep it all in perspective. But if they watch how you care for your body and how you love yourself, they will carry that with them too. And then we'll pass it on.
Yes. Thank you both for sharing those gems. You both have shared some great things that parents can start to think about, adopt, reflect upon, because we are definitely we are the mold, and they are going and we are molding them daily, whether or not we realize it. They're watching us. They're watching us and they're listening. And so even what you said, Jakkia, about you sharing, like, man, I'm, having those transparent moments, with your kids, you're letting them know that it's okay to be transparent. And that, and the whole transparency thing, I think that is something that a lot of us need to be more comfortable with doing, is being transparent and letting others know exactly, where we're at. Because hiding, and sometimes, we hide behind food. Sometimes our shell, if we're not healthy, we're hiding behind that. And so we're hiding, either not being healed from something.
Yep.
We're hiding from brokenness. We are hiding, possibly even from our own demons that we have to address. And earlier when we were talking about spirituality, I know spirituality looks different for everybody else. And now that I have evolved in my mind, I am able to adopt certain things that a long time ago I would have said, oh, that's taboo. When it comes to yoga, some people still think, oh, no, we don't do that for certain reasons. But everybody has to, it's all an individual journey. And if you are incorporating things that are making you healthier physically, mentally, and also spiritually, and bringing you to your best elevated life that I always stress and talk about, then it's nobody's business really to say, oh, you shouldn't be doing this and you shouldn't be doing that for your health and for your sanity and all of that, because many of us have been told, why are you doing that? That's weird, or that's strange, or that is out of the box.
And for those that have that amount of time to assess everybody else's behaviors and routines, we must ask what they're doing with their own. Most of the time, those same people are not taking care of their health and themselves and taking care of their own spiritual, emotional, or physical growth. What any of them, all of them, they're probably neglecting their own while they're judging others. You definitely have to walk your own path and know that your lane is your own. And you can't be worried about what anybody else thinks about it. That is between you and whatever higher power you serve. Yeah. And that, again, it's a very personal journey. And you have to be, but you know what? Life is a personal journey. Everything in life leads you back to yourself. Your entire life is a personal journey, and every relationship and every interaction leads you back to self.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Well, I think that we can go ahead and end this episode of Girl, You Better Get Fit. And I want you all to know that even I struggled with titling this episode, because I didn't want anyone to get misconstrued that I was, trying to say, girl, you better be a size 2 or a size 0, or you better, not. No, this is a holistic, like get your mind fit, get your, physical fitness. I mean, just everything. Get fit, like total fitness, that trifecta. Like Jakkia brought up. But anyway, thank you all for being on the show today. Cameron, can you tell them where to, or I will go back and attach the information. I had put it on the flyer, but I will go back, attach the information. If anybody is interested in purchasing any of your products, tell them where to go.
You can go to hgffit.com. That's where you can find my sports nutrition supplements. My products are evolving, and so as we grow, so will my product line. And ultimately, the goal is to have some of the best, highest quality supplements out there on the market. So hgffit.com. Check it out. I'll send you some of the best stuff to get you through your workout.
Yes, and I can vouch for it too. I have used it. And I was laughing because I have a story about the pre-workout, because Cameron had to educate me on the because I was like, Cameron, I'm itching all over. What's going on when I drink the pre-workout? Maybe I'm allergic to it, and that wasn't even the case. Tell me real quick. Tell everybody what it was.
So it's the beta alanine that's in it, and basically it's just a vasodilator, and it kind of gives you this kind of creepy crawly feeling in your skin when you first take it. It's kind of like prickly feeling. It's not painful at all. It's just it's just a weird sensation.
Yes.
Yeah. And some people are more, susceptible to it, and like for me, I don't even feel it because I've been using it for so long.
Yes, and I think as soon as I was taking it, then I think I was like immediately jumping into a workout. So I wasn't giving it any time to even, kind of settle in my system. But yeah, that was funny for me because anyway. Well, thank you all for joining the show today. I hope you enjoyed it. Tune in next time for Girl, You Better, and check to see what I'm talking about next. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Great to meet you. Thank you.